Initiating boosters in 3, 2, 1. Game on!
Hello everyone, I am SoliSolrac and today we're going to be covering Overwatch 2 Season 15 Hero Perks. Before the video starts, I would just like to mention if you guys like this, leave a like, subscribe, and a comment stating if you would like to see any more videos. The way this is going to be working out is I'm going to be separating the hero perks into 3 different videos, each being correlated to its role. I'm going to be starting out with tanks, later on damage, and after that support. Before I get onto the perks, I would like to mention a few keynotes of the perks. First being perks stay after death, so you don't have to worry about dying a lot. No matter what, it'll keep going. Secondly, I would like to say perks reset between rounds. After one round ends, you're gonna have to start all over in the next round, which is pretty good because if you didn't like a perk set in the first round, you could change it up for the second one. You could make yourself unpredictable to the enemy. Third thing being perks reset after swapping heroes. This encourages people to swap less. It also encourages people to not counter swap because you lose your perk progression. For 4, I lost count. 4 being there are 3 levels to each hero, 1 being the base default level in which you spawn in, level 2 being minor perks, and level 3 being major perks. Aside from the base default level, the way I'm going to be talking about this is minor perks, I'm going to be calling them tier 1, and major perks, which I'm going to be labeling them as tier 2. Tier 1 perks, they tend to be lighter upgrades such as a small passive or a cooldown reduction. And for major perks, which I'm going to be calling tier 2, they're going to be gameplay shifting changes that redefine what your hero is capable of. Like I mentioned in this video, I'm going to be covering tank perks. For Diva tier 1, we have Bunny Stomp. Call max damage radius is increased by 50%. And we have Eject Suit. Eject grants 25 temporary overhealth. For her tier 2, we have Shield System. Convert 150 health to shield, and defense matrix restores shield based on 25% of its damage observed. And then we also have heavy rockets. Micro missiles are swapped for heavy rockets which fire fewer projectiles and increase damage and explosion size. Moving on to Doomfist, this tier 1 is going to be 1-2. Hitting an enemy with rocket punch reloads all hand cannon ammo. We also have Survival of the Fittest. The best defense grants 25 overhealth from eliminations and its maximum overhealth is increased by 50. For his tier 2, we have Seismic Empowerment. Hitting 3 or more enemies with Seismic Slam empowers Rocket Punch. Choose that or Power Matrix. Power Block absorbs projectiles for its first second of its duration. Now moving on to Hazard. Tier 1, we have Off the Top. Violent Leap Slash deals 30% more damage to its enemies above 250 health. You can choose that or Reconstruction. Jagged Walls hits Charge Spike with 25 energy up to 50 extra. And now for his tier 2, we have Anarchic Zeal. Spike Guard spikes gain 25% lifesteal. And we also have Deep Leap. Violent Leap range is increased by 20%. Now moving on to Junker Queen. For her tier 1, we have Rendering Recall. Recalling Jagged Blade from a struck target refreshes its wound. And you can choose that or Battle Shout. Commanding Shout fully reloads Scattergun and increases allied reload speed by 50%. That's actually pretty big. For her tier 2, we have Deep Wounds. Scattergun hits extend your wound duration on those enemies by 0.25 seconds. We also have Salvage Citation. Carnage's impact damage gains 100% lifesteal. Now moving on to Malga. For his tier 1, we have Kinetic Bandolier. Overrun reload up to 150 ammo while charging, and we also have 2 hearts. While on an objective, Malga counts as 2 heroes and regenerates 20 health per second. Now moving on to tier 2. Overrun ignites enemy hit. You can choose that or Combat. Critical hits grant Malga 2 temporary overhealth on Cardiac Overdrive's next use, up to 100 overhealth. Now we have Orisa. Her tier 1, Heat Dissipator. Primary fire critical hits refund heat. And we have Fleet Bulwark. Fortified Briefing grants an additional 100 overhealth when activated. For her tier 2, we have Charge Javelin. Hold right click to charge energy javelin, increasing its speed and knockback. Pierces enemies at full power. We also have Protective Barrier. Converts javelin spin to instead launch a barrier. Ramatra. Tier 1 Void Surge. Void Accelerator periodically releases a burst of 6 additional projectiles during continuous fire, and you can choose that or Prolonged Barrier. Void Barrier's duration is increased by 25%. And now to his tier 2, we have Nanite Repair. Ramatra is healed for 50 health per second while within Ravenous Vortex. And we have his Vengeful Vortex. While Ravenous Vortex is airborne, use E again to detonate it, dealing 50 damage and pulling enemies downward. This is pretty great because now you can finally deal with those pesky flying characters. Reinhardt, for his tier 1 we have Crusader's Resolve. While using Barrier Field, your passive health regeneration triggers 50% sooner, and you can choose between that or Fiery Uptake. Barrier Field is healed for 100% of Fire Strike's damage dealt. Now moving on to his tier 2, we have Shield Slam. While Barrier Field is active, use left click to damage and knock back enemies. And we also have Crushing Victory. Charge damage grants temporary overhealth for 50% of the damage dealt. Now for the Hug players, we have Scrapped Hook. Chain Hook hit reloads 2 ammo. Choose that or Hog Toss. Big Pen's throw is increased by 50%. And for his tier 2 we have Invigorate. Take a breather, rapidly increases Hog's movement by 30%. Or you can choose Hogdrogen Exposure. Take a breather also heals nearby allies for 50% of its healing. For Sigma, for his tier 1 we have Kinetic Cycle. Absorbing projectiles with Kinetic Grasp also reduces accretion cooldown. You can either choose that or Massive Impact. Accretion knockdown duration increase up to 3 seconds based on travel distance. Now moving on to Winton. For his tier 1 Short Circuit, Tesla Cannon deals 30% more damage to deployable objects. That's actually pretty good because I don't know about you, but I hate those pesky objects that no one seems to shoot at for some reason. You can either choose that or Heavy Landing. During Primal Rage, jump pack damage and area increased by up to 75% while airborne. Now for his tier 2 we have Chain Lightning. Fully charged secondary fire hits bounce up to 2 additional targets. I honestly can't wait to use that. I've always been saying that his electricity should chain link to other targets nearby, and now that they're adding in the game, it's gonna be quite fun. So you can choose either that or Revitalizing Barrier. Barrier projector heals allies within it for 30 heal per second. Now moving on to Wrecking Ball. For his tier 1 Steamroller, roll impact deals 100% more damage to tanks. And we have Pack Rat. Health pack heal an additional 100 health. For his tier 2 we have Hang Time. Pile Driver winds up longer, gaining air control and dealing up to 50% more damage. And we have Transfer Efficiency. Reactivating Adaptive Shield reduces its cooldown by 1.5 seconds per ally affected, and ally health gain is increased by 33%. Zarya. Tier 1 Jump Up. Secondary Fire's self knockback is increased by 75%. With that, you can finally parkour around the map. You can either choose that or Graviton Crush. Graviton Surge deals up to 30% of enemy max health as damage over time. And for her tier 2 we have Energy Lance. Particle Cannon's beam pierces enemies while over 50 energy. And you have Spotter. Projected Barrier activates ally health regeneration and increases their movement by 15%. And with that being said, that is the end of the tank hero perks. Tell me what you guys think, which one you guys plan on choosing. All of this is in early development, so maybe not everything is going to be in the finalized product, but let me know what you guys think. Tell me what you guys would choose. By leaving a like, you guys let me know that you guys enjoy these type of videos and I can bring you guys more. I would also like to state that this is kind of strange for me because I never make videos like this. I'm more of a goofing around type of guy. I play a lot of Overwatch. Play many games with friends, but lately I've been on the Overwatch grind, and with these new updates coming to the game, I am actually very excited and cannot wait to play season 15. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye. Or you can choose what the heck? Or you can choose whoa, what the? I honestly can't wait to use that. I've always been saying that his electricity. I've always been saying that his electricity.